Greetings, everyone. This is Tiffany Martinez. As always, I do hope you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in your simulation. So, today I decided to finally sit down and go through these cards. I wanted to dedicate this video, one, to Soul and Spirit, and then the creator of this High Council Oracle and Tarot deck, to the one that created it. She is a creator. She's more than a creator. But qz2vg, I am going to tag her in this video. She probably won't have time to see it because she is extremely busy, and I understand. But I want to tag her in it so you can go order yours and you would have her real YouTube channel. There are a bunch of who's out there in this simulation. So I did this reading for myself, and I know at first glance it may look a little messy, but the ones that are not in the perfect row, those are validation cards. Like I asked for clarification, validation and clarification. And if you've seen any of my videos with readings, I always do the first row represents past, present, and the top one is future, meaning it's going to happen. So, and then on the far right are the cards that basically sum up each row. And I also ask for clarification and validation for that. But this particular reading is, to me, is like a report card to see how I am doing in comparison to before, basically. So let me go ahead and get started because I don't want to take up too much of my time for this. This is just for educational purposes only and entertainment if you enjoy getting or seeing tarot readings. And make sure when you get to her page that you go to her website and book a reading with qz2vg. This is qz2vg. This is qz2vg. Her face appears several times. Anyways, so the first card that came out is the Yehuda Governor card. So I asked for, like I say, I asked for updates to see how Soul and Spirit sees me in comparison to, let's just say, a year ago, or even 5 years ago. So, and even though I said that this is past, present, and future, the way I see it, we're already here and here in my timeline. But that's what past, present, and future means. So the Yehuda card, like I said, I love this deck because it is a combination of tarot as well as an oracle deck. So I think, not that I think, I feel that Governor Yehuda believes that I'm doing very well. That's just my personal opinion, that I'm doing very well and that I am getting the spiritual guidance that I asked for. Not saying that I need it. I asked for this to come into my life. I asked for qz2vg, a teacher, a leader, and everything that she is to come into my simulation. So the next card is the Star card. And if you know anything about tarot, this is one of the better cards, especially if it's in the upright position. So the Star card says renewed faith, which is very true. November 30th, 2021, my husband died, Henry, and then November 4th, 2022, my mother also died. So, and I was kind of losing faith in everything that I believe in. My walk is different than your walk. So, things are better. I am better today. Because I was losing enthusiasm. I didn't get my glasses. I never lost any common sense. And I was in despair. But the first thing that I saw when I pulled this card, or when it came out, when I was shuffling was calm energy and renewed faith. So I did ask for validation, for this and some clarification, and this is the one that came out. But I didn't pull these till the end. And basically, I was giving life to what I already believed in. And I do give credit to qz2vg because she poured life into my vessel and into my soul that not enough people understand. She is more than just a tarot reader or someone who can just shuffle some cards. She is not a puppet. She does not act on command. So I always will show gratitude to her, and I will always be forever grateful. So the next card is the Fool card. And this is actually one of my favorite cards as well, because it doesn't mean you're a fool. It just means new beginnings are happening. And I just asked for more clarification, and I got the death ending, new light, fresh start. And this is in honor of her mother, Marion Elaine Dean. So again, get the deck. It's a beautiful deck. I don't do readings for anyone else other than myself with this deck, because this one is just for me. I have tons of decks, over 20 decks. This one I'm a little selfish with, so you should go buy your own. Okay, let's move on to the present. And I got the Dino Knight card, which is very beautiful. You can screenshot that if you like, unless you know who Dino Knight is. You might want to take one of her classes. So the next one is the Yehuda Oath. It came out right after the Dino Knight card, and I asked for validation and clarification for this as well. And the first thing that popped out is her name, Lama Mama Dama, and honor your space. Honor your space and protect your space and healing of the heart, mind, and soul. Because if you're out there and you're trying to, basically take steps to regain your power, take back your power, you don't want to have to redo all the work, the shadow work that you have been doing. So you have to honor your space and protect it. The next one is the money card. Excuse me. The first word that popped out is money. And it wasn't until after I went through it to get validation to show where anything else would come out. It says money is coming. And I didn't read any further. I said gratitude, and I said ashe. So, but then I shuffled the deck and I asked for, a little bit more specification. And it says the collaboration. That's the first word that popped out for me. So, and I didn't go any further. And it's it's the Three of Pentacles. Excuse me just a second. So, and I just show gratitude to soul and spirit. And the next one is journey, crossroads, new opportunities, and to stay focused. And I left it alone, and I went on to the future. And I got the Ace of Cups. Excuse me, sorry. And first, it popped out romantic possibilities, and then turning over a new leaf, which goes in with all of these other cards, crossroads, the death ending card, fresh start, all that. And I did a reading with another deck, maybe 2.5 years ago, and the last card that basically said that I will be getting remarried. And I was just basically, I wasn't claiming that because of my husband not being here. In my heart, in my mind, Henry will always be my husband. He will always be my soulmate. So if anybody is coming, which I know they are coming, you better come with your best game because I'm not putting up with nothing. And you have to be almost very similar to Henry. Like his personality, you have to love differently. You have to love me unconditionally. And I have a lot of flaws that I don't see as flaws, but other people may. Like I said, you better come correct because I'm 49 and I'm already an introvert. So trust me, I'm not pressed to be with you or anybody else. I'm not pressed. So moving on to the next. And this was not really shocking, but I keep hearing that someone has been doing spell work on me, and it may not be exactly spell work, but I see it as spell work because they have been, like if you're praying to, basically to that cross and that person that represents that cross, that is considered spell work, and it should be considered verbal assault. So, but anyways, the Santa Brahete card comes out, and it says Swift Justice. And just looking at it, that was like the first card. Like I already recognize the card. I know who she is. If you know who she is, then you understand it. If you don't, then you should. So the Swift Justice, and it says love and passion. This one came out first and popped out first, and then Swift Justice. And I definitely asked for clarification, and it says betrayal and users. And I already know the two individuals that betrayed me from the moment that my husband transitioned to still today. And that Swift Justice is coming. That's how I know that I'm already at the end of this part, and I'm already at the beginning of the future. I'm already here. So, and I don't have to wish anything bad upon anyone. I don't have to do that. I don't have to, do a whole ritual, so your life can be fucked up. I don't have to do that. It's already coming. The moment that you cross me, that's the moment you fucked up. And I don't need to call your name or none of that because it's already done. And whatever you thought you were going to do, it's not going to work. Not here. Because one, my mother already transitioned. And now she sees it. She sees it. And do you think she's going to let anything happen to me? Yes, my heart will always be shaky and sad for my husband, but it won't be the way it used to be. I'm stronger than I was. I'm stronger than I was. When I do my affirmations, 2 of those affirmations is I'm better because I'm healed. I'm healed because I'm better. Okay? So, be kind to people. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm always kind to people. Even if you're shitty with me. Because I don't know what you're going through. And I don't ask because I don't want to carry that when I leave this conversation. So, the next card is, let's see. The next card is the Ace of Pentacles. And the first thing that popped out is materialistic. And I'm like, well, I don't know why that popped out because I'm not materialistic. But I think that has something to do with the person or the persons, the 2 individuals that betrayed me. And this is just clarification and validation that everything is being seen. I don't have to do anything to you, because the moment you betrayed me, any type of contract is already null and void. Okay, the last part is, because I went through all of that, is I go back and I get validation to basically sum up each row, and it's the Temperance card. And I'm already considerate with love. And this, again, this is the past. So I was a little impatient. Where's that? It's a card that says, oh, here it is. The grievance card. I was a bit impatient because I just wanted to get to the healing. I just wanted to get to the emotional healing so I can move forward. Grief takes time. Excuse me. Everybody grieves differently. And it takes time. I will be more concerned about the person that's moving on very quickly versus me. I mean, it took 21 years for our marriage to end because he transitioned. Why would I think the pain would end? But as Quatina said in one of her readings to me, she says that, let me make sure I get it right, I'm so sorry. Basically, she says that Henry can't be around me. He can't be around the low vibrational. And I kind of took offense to that. And I love Quatina. She knows that. I look at her as a big sister, even though I'm older than her. I'm older than her. I've always looked at her as a big sister. So, and usually siblings don't want to take the truth as for what it is. But she basically said that I was low vibrational, and I didn't want to accept that. I kept telling myself that I'm not, I said it out loud too. I said, I'm not low vibrational. My husband died. Like, how am I supposed to feel? Right? So anyways, and then as the years went by, it's like Henry can't be around as often as I want him to be around because I'm always crying. I'm always crying. That was back then. Now it's not the way it used to be. So that's how I know I'm coming out of this. But however, my heart is still it's still a little broken but I know he's right here with me. Just like I know my mother is right here. Daddy is right here. I walk with my ancestors every single day. It's been like that since I was born, since I was created. So I'm not alone, and I damn sure not lonely. I just simply miss my husband. So, as I said, grievance takes time. It just do. Even though I was impatient. But look how much I have accomplished since my husband transitioned and my mother. Quatina was the first person I spoke with that day before I had to take him off life support. So, even though you may be going through back-to-back tsunamis like I was, stand up. There's so much more coming for you. So many beautiful opportunities. So, if anyone knows me on a personal level, they knew me long before Henry transitioned. I was on this massive weight loss journey. And I was doing it all on my own. I weighed over 430 pounds. And even when I was down to like 250, the doctors were still trying to get me to do this weight loss surgery, do this weight loss surgery. And I kept telling them no. I mean, even though you may have just met me, I have a whole album full of progress pictures. I have a report card for when I was in Weight Watchers. And I didn't join Weight Watchers because I needed their help. I just joined because I wanted documentation. Because I'm going to clap for myself. But the first thing I saw was physical and pushed through it. And if you look a little closer, it says acknowledge yourself. As I said, I didn't join Weight Watchers because I necessarily needed their help. I just joined it because I always like to learn something. I'm always going to learn something. Even if it's the most terrible lesson, I'm always going to learn something. So, and I show gratitude to myself. I show gratitude for myself for not giving up. Even when I was told that I was actively dying, and that was a year ago. A year ago.